But what I wanted to talk about was, do you ever get into these positions where you're engaged in something, right?
Okay.
And your phone rings.
Yeah.
Or you get a text message.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the stress associated with that is just like, I need to handle this like now.
Constantly, man. Yeah. I mean, that's like I think being in real estate and obviously being a small business owner of any kind, I think that's probably pretty common. I always say this is like a blessing and a curse, right? I can run so much of my business out of this, but then, yeah, I mean, I've had that issue. You know, you're constantly looking at it. People feel like you're not engaged with them. You're trying to be good and not look at it, and then it just stresses you out. You hear it, or you see something for a minute.
I'm going to shift a little bit because I know this was in the screen. You're good right where you're at.
Got it.
Yeah. Let's talk about that for a second.
And then like the problem is too for me is then it's I keep looking at it and it becomes just like an obsession, right? Because then it becomes like it's not even necessarily something I need to respond to, but I'm just looking at it out of habit almost. You know? Then then I'll sit there. I'm like, oh crap, where did the last 30 minutes go?
Yeah.
It's hard to connect. I mean, I know a lot of people say that kind of thing, right? But like, honestly, I don't know the last day that I just pushed my phone away and didn't look at it for
a whole day,
even an hour.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. I've been thinking about this a lot lately, where I will get some sort of input into my life that is associated with, and it's all work. But so something happens, boom, like I feel stress.
Yeah.
And then I don't feel any sort of like ease until that is
resolved.
Do
you think that's necessarily the phone? That's just your like personality?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's definitely my personality. It's not the phone. The phone is just the mechanism. It's just the delivery.
And it probably amplifies it, right?
It's a delivery mechanism.
Yeah.
It's not. It's like, yeah, it's definitely me.
Because I have that too, man. I'm like, I have to have things resolved, and until they're resolved, I'm stressed about it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've met people that aren't like that can just kind of like, okay, I'll like take care of that later.
I don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't. That's wild.
I don't get that one bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the problem is too, like some things can't be resolved in the moment, right?
No.
So I don't know if you have that. Then I end up like spiraling or.
Well, I do. Okay, so as I have matured into my career, like specifically, like let's just talk about real estate, for example, where let's just say that somebody is upset about something to do with like the inspection, right? Mm-hmm. As I have grown in the career, in the role, matured, I'm able to get to okay, here's a good stopping point.
Yeah.
Like I can't do anything beyond here. Like I add no more value. So I can give that a break, and then not think about it until whenever.
Yeah.
But one of the best, I think, that's like a skill that I've developed over time.
Yeah. No, fair. I think I've gotten better at it. I certainly look back at the beginning, because when you're newer, it's like you need the paycheck more, or you just haven't been through that before, so you're not exactly sure how it's going to play out. So as you see more scenarios or have more experience, and it's a little bit easier. You know what's funny? Like I just started my team at the end of last year.
Yeah.
I've got a few guys working for me. One of them is my cousin. He's amazing, Will Murphy.
Yeah.
And it's funny because we have a lot of similarities in our personality. I don't know if it's genetics or who knows. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he called me the other day spiraling about an issue, and I stopped and I said, first off, you're spiraling. Second off, I was like, it's kind of nice to hear. I was like, because it makes me calmer. I was like, I don't know if that's a healthy, good thing to say, but you start to recognize it in someone else. So I'm like, maybe this paradigm or a shift of how I, being a team leader will make that kind of easier. I don't know, but I feel you, man. Yeah, 100%.
I had a very similar experience. An agent on the team called me with a problem that they were going through, and he's like, "Oh, that's great advice." I go, "Well, listen, like I learned that by just getting kicked."
Yeah.
That's how I,
Yeah, learn from my mistakes. And sometimes it's like, man, I wish I could take that advice. Like, it's much easier for me to tell people like, dude, this isn't a big deal. I've had, colleagues call me like, from time to time, I'm sure you've had this of like running a situation by you and really stress. I'm like, do not worry about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I know on the opposite, I'd be worried.
Yeah. My go-to is like, is this going to be a big deal in 6 months? And the answer is always no.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I go to like, is this going to be a big deal in 2 weeks? The answer is usually no.
Yeah.
So why am I going to worry about it right now?
100%. Yeah.
And
my wife's really good at that. She grounds me in that sometimes if we do have larger things that come up, but oftentimes at the end of the night, get the kids to sleep, whatever, and it's kind of still in my mind. I'm talking through it with her, and she's like, well, listen, like, is there anything else you can do about it today? If not, like, let it go. And
yeah. Yep. That's great perspective. Yeah. So we were talking before we turned the cameras on about managing like the emotional side of real estate. And additionally, like, do you want to share what, like, you were in a mastermind and they were like the perception of realtors?
It was a great mastermind I was at right before this. I mean, some unbelievable agents have been doing it forever. Sure, a lot of great topics, perspectives, whatnot. And, but it was kind of funny towards the end. They brought up, how do we influence the public's perception of realtors? Do you think that people sometimes look negatively at realtors? And like, I would agree, like there is sometimes, with any sales job, I think there's going to be people that think negatively, right? That think the realtor's only in it for the money kind of thing, right? Or we get paid too much for what we do.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think that, do you think you get that vibe from people when you meet with them?
Oh, sometimes.
Do you?
Sometimes. Not often. I think more so I would like read, if you get too much online, and that's a problem with anything, right? If you go online, there's a lot of people that are vocal about whatever. Or from time to time, like, I'll hear people kind of make an offhand comment about that. But the majority of people I work with are so appreciative and like really don't push back on that or make those comments.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe you don't, the public doesn't approach you that way because you don't wear a suit? I
do. Yeah. I think that's part of it.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I think part of what Yeah.
I mean, my headshot, I'm wearing a suit or, like a jacket and a tie in my headshot, but I'll show up to show a house pretty casual.
Yeah.
And I think that really kind of helps, like,
disarm
because, yeah, dude, I'm just a regular guy.
Yeah. No, I definitely think that makes sense.
Like, maybe don't dress like a realtor and you won't get treated like a realtor.
And don't have the commission bread. I mean, no, for sure. I don't know. But yeah, it was interesting because, they were kind of saying this and what do we need to do? And, they said some things that make sense, right? They're like, don't complain about your job on the internet. And I agree with that. It's
God.
Nobody wants to hear your realtor complaining about how hard they work. And, that is some of that out there. Because realtors, we are on social media a lot. We're generally pumping ourselves up and, patting ourselves on the back. And and I do agree with that. But at the end of the day, we were going back and forth, and it was kind of funny. He was a really nice man who works for a moving company. He was saying lovely things about realtors and how we give up nights and weekends, and we work so hard, and we make these dreams happen. And, like, a lot of that I agree with. And dude, sometimes I, think to myself after I say something, I'm like, I didn't have to say that. I could have just been quiet, Like, why did I even do that,
Yeah, dude,
and,
there's so, I want to redo on that.
I was like, what did this, So anyways, we're sitting there, and literally it was so funny because at the end of what this guy said, they applauded. They're like, thank you. And I go, that was really nice. Everybody applauded. I was like, you're probably going to boo me. I was like, but why do we need to, pat ourselves on the back so much for working hard? Like, yes, our job can be hard, but a lot of jobs are hard. And sure, there's people that have that, whatever. But like you said, man, I think it's a smaller amount that of people that complain outwardly about realtors.
Yeah, the loud
voices, minority or whatever.
Yeah, whatever that.
So there was some of that out there, but what I said was the crowd I was in is very more buttoned up, polished than me, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, it's probably part of me for saying this, but I was like, who gives a fuck? I was like, I was like, if Gary Vaynerchuk was here, a big Gary V guy. I was like, he'd tell you, who gives a fuck? Go double down on the good experiences you have and the people that appreciate you and want to refer you and understand that you are providing value and you are working hard and all those people in those room 100% do this, but it's just as long as you're working in the best interest of your client, doing everything you can to help them, then like, you
Yeah,
can sleep good at night.
I think you have to be a subject expert.
Yeah.
You have to be totally transparent.
Yeah.
And then, put their desires above your own.
Yeah.
And some of that means like answering the phone at 9:45.
Yeah.
Like just answering the call. Because if they're calling me late at night, they're stressed.
Yeah.
And if I can answer that call, normally I have something to take that edge off for them.
Yeah.
And I share that, with them.
Yeah,
But-
that's a good point, man. Sometimes it's tough. I think this is for everybody, right? Like the longer you do something, you just get a little like, you don't remember what it was like when you were new, or so not. I don't remember. Sometimes I forget what it was like when I was buying my first house. And again, my wife does a good job sometimes when I'm talking about something, and she'll be like, "Well, remember when we bought our first house?" You know? And so sometimes, I'll be honest, the call thumbs through at 9:45, and I'm like, I can't believe this, guys.
Yeah, there is that. You do start to think. So this. Okay, I know exactly what you're saying because
Yeah.
I've thought that before. And my wife has said like, "Why are they calling you so late?"
Yeah.
And I answer the phone. She's like, "Why would you answer that?" I said, "Well, because that person, they know what time it is, but this is a big deal for them.
Yeah.
And they hired me to do a job, and it's my duty to answer the phone if I'm awake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I do think it's good. I mean, this is one of those complex things, right? Because it is good to have boundaries, right? And put your family for, this sort of thing. So there are some times when someone's calling, I'm like, I know we don't have a deal under contract. This is not a whatever. I'm going to message them and just say, like, I'll get back to you in the morning unless it's an emergency kind of thing. But yeah, some other people, maybe that person can't sleep because they're stressed out because they're in a deal. And for sure.
And so it's I think the right thing to do to answer the phone, take the call, be kind, and give them the answer. And then also be like, hey, can I talk to you tomorrow?
Yeah.
And then give myself a time limit. Like I'm gonna spend 5 minutes on the phone, and when 5 minutes are up, situation resolved or whatever. But if we're not getting anywhere, it's like, hey, can we talk about this tomorrow?
Yep.
And going from there. But then also, it's very important for a realtor to just know that most of their clients are at work from 9 until 5.
Yep.
And so when 5 o'clock hits, that's when their agent is needed. And so our hours are a little different where, we are working from 9 to 5, but afterwards, like, you still gotta be on until whatever time that is.
Yeah. Unless you build out a team and eventually you don't want to have to be that person and you bring in somebody else that's going to... Right? Like you're kind of doing that with the gutter business. You're not as connected to the real estate side in the evenings, I suppose, right?
No, we were actually talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
So I am working like a very demanding role in our other company.
In the gutter business,
which I really enjoy, but I still talk with the agents and get calls and help and mentor through. But then, for 12 years, I put food on the table by selling houses.
Yeah.
And whenever I would get a little fatigued from the stress of real estate, and to be clear, it's not physical stress, it's a lot of emotional.
Yeah.
You need a high emotional IQ and a very high emotional threshold to stay calm and think through situations. So I remember all of that very well.
Yeah.
And I think that I guess so going back to the public perception, I think it's very easy for the public to look at a realtor and be like, oh my God, it's so easy. Like, it's a soccer mom job. But the numbers don't lie, right? Like 89% of realtors fail in the first 5 years. And then after that, it's very low. And then the people that make a full career, 40 years of selling real estate, that's even probably...
Yeah, I'd be kind of curious what those numbers are, Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because, like, I tell a lot of people when I meet them, I'm like, I don't know. I do think there's a certain personality aspect that you kind of have to a certain degree. And not that everybody has to be the exact same personality. I've seen, people that have that more high D, more of a driver kind of, that succeed really well. A lot of realtors are more of the social, high I, whatever.
Yeah.
There is a certain something you have to have, I think, to be successful, but nothing we do is like so hard, right?
No. Yeah, none of it is so hard.
A lot of it's just challenging to stay consistent with it,
Yeah.
to build up your business. And then, like you said, not only like do you have to come in and kind of, you have to come in and do that every day, but then you have to deal with the stress of it. And I've seen a lot of people that get in are extremely successful and just eventually go, I just don't want to deal with the stress of it. I want, and maybe that's just 100% commission jobs, because the whole aspect of that is just stressful, right? I don't know, but I do feel that. I talk to a lot of realtors, and I think it's a common thread of a lot of high producing agents, the managing the stress, and I think it's something we don't probably talk about enough.
Yeah. I think in order to be a successful agent, you have to care what other people think about you.
Yeah. When you care what other people think about you, it's exhausting.
If you look at a lot of the high people who are, putting up high transaction counts every year, they very much care what other people think.
Yeah.
And that is a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
And that is, I think, what grinds people out of the industry.
Yeah.
But if you care about what other people think about you, you are going to put the duty before your own interest.
Yeah.
And I do. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with caring what other people think about you.
Yeah.
It's human nature.
Yeah. Majority of us, that's.
It's ingrained into the fabric of our species.
Mm-hmm.
You have to care what other people think about you, or you're going to get cast out.
Yep.
And so, like, successful realtors care what other people think, and then as they grow into the career, they do create those boundaries.
Yeah. Sometimes. Hard to keep, but yeah.
Yeah. And then there's always a ebb and flow of,
Yeah.
you know.
Because that is a challenge, right? Like the pull of it, you want to be there for your client when they're calling at, like you said, 9:45 at night. Or a lot of times it's like they had got off work, they're calling you then, or it's right after dinner time, right? Like a lot of times it's those times you're getting the calls. It's like I want to be there for my client, but I also want to be there for my 7-year-old and my 4-year-old and make sure I'm pulling my weight as a husband, right, with the family.
Yeah.
Be present. So for me, that's like a big challenge. I want to be an amazing realtor. I want to be 100% satisfaction for all my clients. And like, I really, truly want the best for them. I want the best for everybody on my team. I want them, I'm just starting this. You and Luke have been doing it for a while, right? With having people underneath you. But like, I feel this like, man, if they're not producing, they're not making money. I know their families. One guy's my cousin, one guy's my friends, past client. I'm like, man, I feel whatever. So you feel this obligation to the client, to the people working underneath you. But then most important is the family. I mean, that's number one. So like, if I'm not there for my kids, I heard somebody recently took a step back with the company he was at. He was up talking in front of everybody, and they're like, "Oh, just out of curiosity, why you?" It's like, I feel like I haven't been a dad. I feel like my kid's 13. I missed out on a lot of stuff, and it's like, man, that's the last thing.
Yeah, there's that.
So I think that's just like a lot of what we're. And maybe I'm talking all over the place, but like, that's where the stress starts, right? So what falls off when you're trying to take care of your client, you're trying to take care of your team members, you're trying to take care of your family? Mm-hmm. Then what ends up being like the forgotten?
Yeah.
It's yourself, probably, right?
Probably. One thing I've been thinking about a lot lately is what makes me the most tired is the emotional energy that I assign to tasks, and or whatever. It's the like the chemical reaction that happens inside my body when something bad happened. I got to fix it.
Yeah.
And so to just kind of take that instance, whatever it is, like pissed off client, something
appraisal comes in low.
Yeah, something
falling apart.
Yeah, something broke with the gutter company, or got an issue. And so as soon as I feel that like reaction inside my body, I just like, all right, wait. How much of this do I want to give? How much of myself do I want to give to this? And then I just think like, okay, I'm going to solve this intellectually, not emotionally. and then just kind of keep the lid on the.
But this is something you've had to work at.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, still working at it probably.
Yeah, this is like this is
Constant.
constant. But like I just like so that when I get home at 6 o'clock and my son's like, "Hey, can we go ride bikes?" I'm not just like, "Oh."
So do you have something that you do like a practice that helps you with that?
The first thing is like I know how I react to stress, and number one, identify like, all right, what's gonna cause the feeling or reaction, like what's gonna cause the state of like panic or fight or flight that goes into my head. And I'm kind of a maniac because like I don't problems are like life or death for me. Like
Dude, same.
yeah.
Yeah, there's no in between, which is maybe why we're
Yeah.
successful in certain aspects because
Yeah,
we treat things so seriously.
Yeah. So, let's just take we have a leaky miter at a house. It's just a piece that commonly leaks. My brain says we got to get this fixed right away, or like I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Like, okay, very unhealthy reaction.
Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah.
So like identify what's gonna like set it off, what's my personal reaction to that, and then just start to like, all right, stop, chill.
Yeah.
What's really going on? Is this a big deal? The answer is always no.
Yeah.
So okay, all right, it's not a big deal. How do I think? Let me just think through this and get everything planned out.
Yeah. That's very, I think, a healthy, introspective way to like look at things. Because I struggle. So I think for me, a lot. Listen, I tell people I'm not the smartest guy.
No,
I'm not the.
me neither.
Whatever you want to say. Like, I think something I've always been good at. I could think back to when I was younger. Like, I was on the soccer team. I was never the best soccer player, but I'd
Same.
try my ass off.
Same.
I'd run my ass off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I was really good at running distance running, just because I would just keep going.
Yeah.
I was really good at just pushing myself, just keep going, And I think I've always had that mentality. They call it like a hustle mentality. And I know we talked about it a little bit, but like as I got into real estate, I got really good at that. Just take more. I could just keep going, put the blinders on and go. My last year, when I was at the Young Tape, I sold 120 houses. That's a lot of houses, right?
Yes.
And like it was like go, and
it's super fun.
in the moment, it's like this huge high, but that almost makes it worse, right?
Yeah.
Because then you're constantly chasing
Yeah.
more of that. This is fun.
How you gonna do 140 next year?
Yeah. You keep this guy's doing that, so you got to do more, and it just becomes this thing where it's like great until it's not. And for me, I think you said fight or flight. Like I've realized I've been for many years stuck in that kind of fight or flight.
Yeah.
You get that like fight mentality and you're whatever, but long term that's not.
It's hard to admit too.
That's not good, right? And so I ended up leaving the Young Team because of that. I was just, I had my second kid. I was like, I can't keep doing this. I was like, I got to figure out something else. I kind of took a step back, and now I think I sell like 50 to 70 houses a year. Still a good amount of houses.
Sure.
But quite a bit less, and whatever. And I'm still constantly because when I left, I was in I didn't know what was going on with me. I'm like, my health is just whatever. I'm constantly
you want to talk
in pain.
about that?
Yeah, this is a good segue into that. I was like constantly in pain, stressed out, anxiety, whatever, man. And I didn't know really a lot of like whatever. And I was like, I got to figure this out. So I like went to a therapist for the first time.
Yeah.
Like talking through stuff. And I think for me at least, and I don't know if other people like this, you don't know what's in other people's heads or whatever. You just start to think things are normal, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, finally, I'm talking to the therapist. I'm like, shit, a lot of this stuff's not normal. To have pain, like I have pain constantly, and I was always anxious, and then this and that, and couldn't focus. And so within the last couple of years, I got diagnosed ADD
Okay.
as an adult.
That adds up.
I'm like, this makes sense. This makes sense. Like, dude, I remember being there, and my parents do your homework, and I'd be like, freaking out because I couldn't focus. I could never focus in a class. I was really good at like crunching for the exam. Again, that like, I can focus in intervals and smoke it, but like, so I'm like, okay, this makes sense. Now I'm trying to work on that, right? And then I was like, and there was a big frustration of mine, like for years, I'm like, stuff's going on, it's not whatever. And I mean, dude, I've been trying to deal with like chronic pain for, I don't even know, 15 years.
Wow.
And it's gotten progressively worse. And I was like starting to feel like I was going crazy. because I would just go to the doctor and they would say, oh, here's muscle relaxants. You need to stretch, drink more water, whatever. Like all this stuff. I'm like, you wait there for fucking ever to see someone for 10 minutes and then to give you muscle relaxers.
Yeah.
But finally, I got this like kind of what do they call it? Like a concierge style physician, and I've seen them for a while, and that was great. I recommend it to everybody because you get a little more like FaceTime. And finally, after a while, she was like, I think you have fibromyalgia.
And what's that?
So fibromyalgia, I'm horrible at explaining it, but it's basically like your brain and your spinal cord misinterprets pain and other like signals coming through your body. So it's still like a developing kind of diagnosis. And I think in the long run, it'll be kind of this catch-all that gets better figured out. Like, I don't think there's a lot of like super understanding of it. It was called different things back in the day, and there's still kind of like whatever. I'm constantly like, I follow all these like Instagram accounts, like research and whatever. So I don't know exactly what causes it. It could be trauma. A lot of the triggers though were like stress. Stress is probably the biggest. Stress, diet, lack of exercise, like all these things that as a realtor and whatever is not helpful, right? Yeah. And so I finally like get diagnosed with this and like literally I'm like, oh my God, like, it was a bit of a weight of like, okay, at least I'm not like crazy.
Yep.
So basically what it is shoots like these signals out to your whole body that you're just in extreme like pain. Like, so like right now, literally every morning I wake up and I'm just in pain. Like that's a common thing. You wake up in pain, you don't sleep well. A lot of times you have other sleep issues, sleep apnea or restless leg syndrome or TMJ, which I always get like this jaw's been locked up for like months and I just can't release it. Like I've gotten people to massage it interorally, I do all kinds of different things, it just won't release. It's just like constantly locked. And so anyways, it's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's terrible. Like there's a lot of days, and you know how it is, like in being in a sales job, being in real estate, like I need to be on. I'm a pretty friendly person. I like to talk to people, but some days when you're in full body pain, it's tough to even like get up in the morning, let alone like go put on the, the smiling, like whatever, and go out and it could also cause like brain fog. So sometimes you're just like, can't concentrate, this kind of thing. So it's been a struggle for me and I do well with it, like anything, right? I do well, I'm like going to do yoga, that helps. Yeah. It's like all these things like you said, that really resonates with me. So when I slow down, I take time for myself, I do yoga, I do these things to relax myself, I feel better. I eat better, whatever. But then that whatever gets going again and you're bam, 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 hustling, not taking time, or life gets in the way or something comes up and it just goes off the rails.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's something that like literally, sometimes I'll get it and it lasts for months. It won't go away for months. And then I'll get like a good bit of time and whatever. So yeah, man, that's been the biggest thing for me that I'm constantly still working through. I always joke with everybody. I'm like basically like LeBron with how he pays millions of dollars for his, to keep his body up.
Yeah.
On a much lesser scale, it's like I've tried everything, dude. I go to acupuncture, dry needling, chiropractor, stretch lab, yoga. My favorite, I'll shout her out, Cleveland Lymphatic. I always forget the last part of that. Cleveland Lymphatic, something in Westlake. They do lymphatic massage, lymphatic drainage massage.
Okay.
Because a lot of it's just like your lymph system gets all like whatever up and they can like release it out and it like kind of gets your body moving and like whatever. So constantly working on that, man. I started doing Qigong in the morning. You know what Qigong is? It's like, I used to live in Taiwan. I'd see these old people doing it in the park and I'm like kind of laughing, what is that? But it's basically like, they just like, it's kind of like Tai Chi. You're like moving in the morning, kind of bouncing up and down, getting your, tapping your body, getting everything moving. So anyways, man, that's what that is.
That shit works.
It does. It helps.
Yeah.
Did you do what martial art? You do
Jiu-jitsu.
So that probably helps with the stress and body and.
It's it's a little different, but it helps with stress.
Yeah.
For sure.
My kids do Taekwondo, and I've been thinking about because they have adults.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about doing it.
Yeah, do it.
Because I think something like that, where you're like your phone's away. You can't have it out while you're doing jiu-jitsu, right?
No.
Mott does jiu-jitsu, right?
What's that?
You and Mott. Remember Mott?
Oh, Mott, yeah.
Work with me? He does jiu-jitsu.
Oh, yeah, he trained up in Cleveland. I haven't, seen him in a while. But, yeah, it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's like, organized. It's like wrestling.
Yeah. A little more like wrestling then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that kind of stuff where like you have to put. That's why I like yoga, man, because you're in there for an hour, just like phones away.
No phone. Yeah, yoga's really hard. I don't do yoga because it's really hard.
It's hard to like sit there.
It's just hard. Yeah. That shit sucks.
I love it, man. I don't do it enough. It's just hard to like commit to that
Yeah.
consistently.
No, but that's a good, like, that's kind of like how important health is too, more than, you know, just chasing a paycheck.
That's what it is, man. I mean, obviously, you want to be a provider.
Yeah.
Put money, make money to provide for your family and these kind of things. But it's like, there's got to be a give and take, I suppose.
Something. Yeah. No, I mean, I know I've dealt with, you know, it's hard to deal with the stress of having a family, being a provider.
Yep.
And then also, you know, setting every year, no matter where you're at in the real estate world, it's always like, well, what's your goal for this year? How you gonna get there? And it's like, fuck, can I just have like a year without a goal? Like, can I just, you know, like...
You know what's funny? So ever since I left the young team and I was with Mary Jo and I just split it off, started my own team. But ever since I left, I was with Mary Jo and now on my own. Every year I do about the same.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just funny how it works out. Mm-hmm. You know, but you stress over this like constantly. And I go through a slow period. I'm like, will I ever sell a house again? You know?
Yeah. I think the thing that, for me, the important thing to focus on is like, what am I doing every day? And like creating good daily habits.
Yep.
And then like the results are just the results.
Yep.
And if I say like, oh, I'm going to sell like 70 houses this year, and then I get to like 65, you know, I see the point, right? You set a goal so that you work to get as close to that goal as possible.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't really. I think I operate on such a high level of stress and anxiety that it doesn't matter what my goal is. I'm gonna every single day. I'm gonna work as hard as I can.
Make it happen anyways.
Because it's more important for me to fall asleep knowing I worked as hard as I could all day long than it is to like hit some silly end of the year goal.
Yeah. You know what's funny about that? I actually think if that was a paradigm shift, like, and that's what people focused on is like how consistently you're just doing your daily habits.
Yeah.
People would have more success that way than setting an arbitrary goal that you really don't, you know, sometimes you break it down. You know, you have these once a year like plannings or whatever, and then you fill out a sheet of what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, and then that goes wherever, and you never look at it again, you know? Yeah. But if you really just stayed true to that daily, you know, whatever. And that's the struggle for me, because again, you were saying when you get a call and you get stressed out, it's like, okay, you have this best of intentions of how you're going to structure your day, and then you see that call come through and it disrupts things, right? So
yeah, just throws it all away.
Yep.
Yeah. So what are you doing with the kids now? Taekwondo.
Kids mainly doing Taekwondo. They actually have their belt like promotion tests.
That's cool.
Which is cool. Tomorrow.
Do they like it?
Yeah, I think, you know, it's like...
How old are they?
7 and 4.
Okay.
So, you know, when they're not, when we're talking about going there every day, they don't like it. They're like, I don't want to do that. But when they get there, they love it.
Yeah.
So, and the youngest is funny because he'll start counting to 10 in Korean just randomly, and he'll show people his moves and everything like that. And Amir is really cool, man, to see. They do a great job. Master Mars Taekwondo up in Shaker Heights, man. They do unbelievable. I highly recommend to anybody who's nearby, but because it's good for the discipline.
Yeah.
My kids are different. I think the older one needed a little like toughening up, you know.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
And the younger one needed a little focus. And it's really been good for both of them, man. And it's cool to see them progress, get better at it. I selfishly want them to keep going. And that's like a struggle. I don't know if you have that with your kids. It's like, how much do you force them to do something? You know what I mean? As opposed to let them.
I've talked about it in here on this podcast before.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It's super tough. It's really hard to, as a parent, to say, because they want to quit everything they do.
Yeah.
Like,
at least at some point, right?
Yeah, I mean, and then I think that's also like very normal for a kid to see how far they can push it.
Yeah.
Like, no one wants to, like, if they're sitting there, come home from school, do their homework, and then they're sitting on the iPad for, you know, whatever, or out playing with their friends. They don't want to put it away or stop playing with their friends to go to practice.
Yeah, if I give them full autonomy, what he wants to do, my 7-year-old's going to play Roblox 24/7.
Yeah, exactly. and a little bit of Roblox is fine, but a lot is not. So what we do is we ask them, like, do you want to play soccer? Yes. Yep. Okay. So you're going to be on the team. Yep, I'm going to play soccer. Okay. Then you got to go to practice. Mm-hmm. And then we don't let them quit on a bad day.
Got it. It's got to be kind of like a
consistent.
You
got to finish the season. If you start, you got to finish.
You got to finish, yeah.
And we did that with wrestling, and that was hard with my son. He wrestled for 3 years, and then he finished the season, and then he said he didn't want to do it anymore. So not going to do it next year. And that, same thing, like toughen him up or whatever. But yeah, he gave it 3 years and doesn't want to do it anymore. So
What's your son?
He's 9, and like I'm good with that.
I actually want my 4-year-old to try wrestling. I just think he'd be really good at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's, they both say they don't want to do Taekwondo anymore. They have their belt promotion test. We'll see. When they get their new belts, they always get excited.
Yeah.
So maybe that'll last longer. But, I was asking the older one what he wants to do. He said swimming. So it's like, okay, we'll do swimming. But then you got to, like you said, you're going to do that for a certain amount of time. So, there's things I want him to try. Because I always thought when I was younger, our generation was like, you play soccer.
Yep.
That was it. I mean, other kids.
Or football.
Or football, whatever, you know what I mean? But like there wasn't, I don't know, at least for me, there wasn't, I don't remember my parents being like, do you want to try music? Do you want to try, whatever? And I want my kids to like, I'd love them to try an instrument. I'd love them to try, this or that. But anyways, man, they do that. I mean, they're awesome, dude. We've talked about it. I mean, it's just the best part of my life.
Yeah.
They're my little buddies. I always joke that I feel bad for my wife because she got like three kids, you know what I mean? Because I just rile them up. She'll be getting there, winding them down for the night, and I'll come in, doing WrestleMania, or something like that, or just, fart noises probably, or something stupid, watching The Simpsons. Yeah. Which, by the way, do you let your kids watch any, like, older stuff? Do you get them into that, or not so much? Like,
not so much.
No?
I mean, not like, we'll, no, I mean, they're not, they haven't, like, shown any, like, interest. Yeah,
I mean, if I let them, they watch YouTube constantly. But the one thing I kind of got them into is The Simpsons, which is like...
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
I don't know if it's so appropriate, but I don't know. Whatever, it's fine.
Let's move into... I mean, kind of the last thing I have to talk about. Like, let's talk about how you started your team and what that looks like and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I
get into your phone
make
for
sure
a
with
second.
old mom here. The code, sorry. What that is about. Deal with that later. So as I mentioned, I got started with the young team. I was with them for like, I want to say 6 years. Left when I wanted to go back a little bit. Connected with Mary Jo. Was with her for, I want to say 2 or maybe 3 years. And that was great. Mary Jo, welcome home team. She's awesome. Learned a ton from all those people, right? Started my career with the young team. Ryan's still a mentor of mine. Learned from his parents. Mary Jo, who just crushes the like neighborhood realtor. Which I was at a kind of a shift of like, I always used to be the investor realtor, and I still do some of that, a decent amount. Less like with the rentals, more with like flips and whatever. But it's like I kind of want to get away from this and be more of a neighborhood realtor.
Yeah.
Strategically. And so partnered with Mary Jo, learned a ton from her because she does amazing down here in West Akron. And that was going super well. I brought on Steve, who's a friend of mine for 15 years and past client. And then I got Will, my cousin, to get his license, and a past client of mine, Dustin, decided to get his license. It just was talking to Mary Jo, she was looking to kind of scale back, not scale back necessarily, but she wasn't really looking to grow a team, right? Yep. And I was kind of doing more stuff, and even like, how we were doing certain things a little different. So we just kind of agreed that it probably made more sense to kind of separate. So made that decision, started it up at the end of last year on the Block Group. That's my team. It took me forever. It's funny, like, I don't know if you felt like, it took me forever to like figure out what I want to call my team.
Luke figured it out.
Oh, Luke did that?
Yeah, I didn't.
Well, I made the problem of like asking people too much, and then you get these opinions, and you like, I don't know. So I went back and forth, and finally, the whole idea with my team on the Block Group, like the vibe I'm trying to give out is like, it's not stuffy, right? We're not wearing suits. We're not whatever. We're just normal,
know the area.
We know the area. We live in the communities. We know people in the communities. Because I don't want to just be like, hey, you want to buy a house, you want to sell a house. I'll help you transactionally.
You know the area, you know the process, and then you have all the connections.
All the connections, right? And even like, I tell people, like, I'll be your tour guide, I'll be your, you need to know about whatever, you need a barber, not that I go to barber anymore, but
electrician, plumber,
HVAC,
roofer,
we want to know the best
windows.
restaurant for best place to get Indian food, whatever, I don't know, whatever it is. So, those kind of guys you could sit down and have a beer with, not stuffy and whatever. And I live in Shaker Heights, Steve and Dustin live in Cleveland Heights. So we're going to be, obviously heavily focused on that. Will lives down in West Akron, which I see parallels. So
Yeah.
those are kind of the areas that we service, right? And so I started that up. My friend Kiki, who lives down the street from me, she does branding, so she did all our branding and whatever. I was super happy with that, and got that all together, kind of pulling the vision. And yeah, man, it's been one of those things where like it's tough some days because you're spending so much time on the business, getting things rolling, and how you want the whatever to be, and then actually needing to be in the business, and like I said, getting the guys going, but also keeping your own. Because you know how it is at the beginning. It's like I'm the one that's keeping the lights on, so to speak.
Yep.
But so far it's been great, man. It's really cool. I mean, I've been selling real estate for like 10 years.
Okay.
Here, at least, in Northeast Ohio. And, I'm kind of like, why didn't I do this sooner? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
why didn't I start my own team sooner? I could have, certainly. You know what I mean? For the longest time, I was like, I just don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just want to come in,
100%.
do my own thing. I don't want to be responsible for anybody else. But it's really been fun, man. I'm getting into it. I've always had strong relationships with other realtors, vendors, whoever. But it's even like becoming, when you're the team leader, kind of becomes even more. So that's been kind of fun. I'm, building out events and trainings and all kinds of things, man. And it's been a good ride so far.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I felt the same way. I did not ever think that I'd have a team. Never thought I'd be in real estate for as long as I have.
Yeah. Because when we reconnected over real estate, you were with Penny.
Yeah, I was at Penny Real Estate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I never thought I'd have a team. Same thing that you said. Didn't want a team. Didn't think that it was going to be advantageous.
Yeah.
I looked at it like a lot more. More problems, stress and stuff like that. And then I was worried about being able to provide what people needed. And then it just kind of happened organically. I mean, really through so I started selling real estate in 2013. So, and I think like everybody who's was in real estate prior to 2020 can attest to this. Like 2020 hit and it was just like supercharged.
Yeah.
Rates being down, inventory being low. It was hustle, go the whole time. And I just kind of saw it as like I had too much work and I
leverage.
Didn't want to, didn't want to turn anyone away, didn't want to say no. And then there were people around me who were starting out, who were eager to take on some of that business. And then, it just started happening.
That's awesome. How many people do you have on your real estate team?
Right now there's 10.
That's awesome.
10.
I have to say too, it was really cool. I thought that was so rad when you and Luke joined forces. And then you guys, I think I've told you this, were an inspiration for me because I do a lot of silly videos.
Your videos are great.
Which, by the way, I was sitting there today and I met some guy and he was like, "Oh yeah, I know you from social media." And I was like, "Oh, that's amazing." He's like, "I watched your video." And same thing yesterday, somebody said that to me. And that always makes me feel good, And I'm like,
your videos are so genuine.
I appreciate that, man.
They're so authentic and genuine.
I appreciate that.
They're so good. They're really good.
Yeah. Well, in the start of it, because I do some, silly ones and just, sometimes it's almost for my own enjoyment,
Yeah.
Kind of break up the whatever. Yeah. But I still remember you guys did one. I think when you started your team, when you're like in the elevator and the music's playing, and then you come out and I think one of you has like a flamethrower. And I remember I talked about that for like weeks to people. And I joined Mary Jo shortly after that. And I was trying to convince her for the longest time that we were going to do like our version of a flamethrower video.
Yeah.
I couldn't get her on board. So
that was really fun.
I got to see you and Luke do something. Now you guys are busy, but we're
busy now. But we did that intro video. That was super fun.
You did the dad's one. That was awesome.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. Break it up.
Yeah.
Break it up. But my favorite video that you did was the Jurassic Park video.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
That video is great.
Well, and I got a shout out. So I got a guy that does videography for me, Sonny Lindsay, and he's like really transitioned to being luxury now.
Yeah.
And I feel bad sometimes. I'm like, you're trying to do luxury, and here I am, like making you like Elvis or something, stupid. But like literally that Jurassic Park one, he was coming over to film it. I didn't even know what the idea was going to be.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I was like, wait, I got these Jurassic Park costumes. And I just literally like spit the idea at him, and he like made it happen. You know what I mean? So it's good to have those like partnerships with
Yeah,
people.
it's great.
Because I have like the creative vision, but somebody to pull it together.
Yeah.
So it's not just chaos. But thanks,
right.
man.
Yeah, people to whatever, just humor our like give us an opportunity.
I don't have the ability to actually make that video. You know what I mean? But yeah.
And they have to it was the same with our videographer that did ours. They had to lower themselves to our fart.
Yeah.
And then they do weddings and really nice stuff, and we're still doing fart jokes in our 40s.
Oh man, that's all right though. Yeah. You don't take yourself too serious.
Right. I mean, I got. Really,
I love it, brother.
Yeah,
that was great.
Plug your stuff.
Yeah. So, as I burp. So, as Jim mentioned, I'm Mike Roberts on the Block Group, Keller Williams Living. My big audacious goal, if you want to say, is just to service the Heights. That's amazing. Not that we don't sell elsewhere, but that's my primary focus. Shaker Heights, Cleveland Heights, University Heights. I love it. I live there. If anybody's interested, I love collaborating. We are looking for people to bring on the team.
Yeah.
Not a ton. It's got to be the right fit.
Yeah.
But I am actively looking if anybody ever has interest. Yeah, I don't know. I just love
That's
connecting.
a great area to be the expert in too. You got point of sale, older homes,
Yeah.
older material used in construction.
Well, and that's been, it's because even a lot of the people I work with that we renovate in the Heights.
Yeah.
And we've done well with it over the years because a lot of people don't want to deal with it because of the point of sale. And it can kind of be a headache. I tell everyone Shaker Heights is like a love-hate relationship because I love living there, but the taxes are high and the point of sale is intimidating, right? But we lived in Cleveland Heights. We moved to Pepper Pike, which is great. Just wasn't for us.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't our vibe. And part of the reason we moved was because of the taxes. And so now people, I'm sure whenever I post a video about Shaker Heights, somebody gets on and says, taxes, and it's like, you pay what you want to have the lifestyle that you want for you and your family. And that's what I wanted for my family. You know what I mean? I wanted to grow up like we did.
Yeah.
Riding bikes around the neighborhood. And the other day, it was cool, man. Neighborhood kids knocking the door. Me and another mom came, and we took 10 neighborhood kids to the playground.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the kind of rad stuff that I like. So anyways, we specialize up there. If you guys ever need anything, I pride myself on doing things a little differently, just having fun with it, doing my marketing differently, being a little unique, constantly. Not stuffy. If you're looking for that suited and booted
BMW, Mercedes.
BMW, Mercedes, that's gonna, I tell everybody, listen, nothing wrong with it. I tell everyone, I'll list the multi-million-dollar houses, no problem, of course, but it's not really my bread and butter. My bread and butter is just your everyday Joe, family, that kind of deal. So, but I'm always down. I think where I've gotten to where I am, and I'm fortunate enough, it's just by relationships, is collaborate, and I'm always down just to meet up with people and collaborate on whatever I can.
Absolutely.